The olive grove, an emblem of Mediterranean culture, is one of the most resilient crops in the history and economy of southern Europe and northern Africa. This ancient sector today faces new threats. Climate change, which has caused significant periods of drought, emerging diseases, and the overexploitation of its most profitable varieties, is reducing the diversity and strength of these plantations, generating new challenges for farmers and biologists. The olive grove is currently facing a situation of significant vulnerability. The ongoing droughts caused by climate change have led to a reduction in olive oil production by as much as 57% in certain regions. The lack of water and rising temperatures have, in turn, fostered the development of emerging diseases, such as Xylella fastidiosa. This situation has resulted in the loss of over 230,000 hectares of olive trees in recent years due to these diseases. The commercialization of olives and olive oil, along with their strong demand and high economic profitability, is also impacting this ancient crop. Despite having more than 1,200 varieties of olives, the selection of larger fruits with higher oil content, such as the Picule variety in Spain, has considerably reduced the diversity of plantations, increasing the sector's vulnerability to potential threats. In light of these challenges, the olive grove requires swift and concrete actions. It is essential to leverage the genetic diversity preserved in germplasm banks and ancient olive trees. Collaboration between institutions and researchers is crucial to safeguard the future of olive oil production. This is how the Gen for Olive project was born. This European initiative aims to promote the indexing of domestic and wild genetic resources, genres, of Mediterranean olive groves, simultaneously involving farmers and researchers. Gen 4 Olive works with over 500 olive varieties and 1,000 wild and ancient genotypes, which are classified around 4 key pillars: their adaptation to climate change, resistance to pests and diseases, production and quality, and modern production systems. This data has been integrated into the intelligent Gen for Olive interface, an efficient ICT tool designed to support farmers in enhancing olive grove improvement programs and addressing the current and future challenges of olive cultivation. The European project Gen for Olive is funded under the Horizon 2020 program. It is coordinated by the University of Córdoba, Spain, and brings together 16 partners from 7 different countries. Hellenic Agricultural Organization Demeter and Hellenic Union of Nurseries from Greece, Santa Cruz Ingeniería, Technological Corporation of Andalusia, Balam Agriculture, Cambrico Biotech, University of Granada and University of Jaén, from Spain, the Olive Research Institute and Ankara University from Turkey, Council for Agricultural Research and Economics and Sapienza University of Rome from Italy, FOCOS from Germany, the National Centre for Scientific Research de France, and National Institute of Agricultural Research of Morocco. The project has been structured through 2 open calls to support pre-breeding activities and improvement plans. The key to the success of Gen for Olive has been the involvement of scientific experts, germplasm banks, farmers, and nurseries from the most relevant countries in olive production. Thanks to their collaboration, genetic resources have been obtained that will enable the olive sector to address the significant challenges it faces. Gen 4 Olive has had a budget of €870,000 to finance innovation projects for SMEs, which includes pre-breeding activities and improvement plans through 2 open calls for innovation projects. This funding was distributed through a voucher system, with a maximum grant of €60,000 per SME, even if the SME was a beneficiary in both calls. The The program has been aimed at SMEs engaged in olive improvement activities, as they are considered the primary users of the germplasm banks and the Gen for Olive platform, including breeders, olive producers, and producers of olive oil and table olives. Additionally, SMEs from related sectors, such as ICT, have participated, as they can contribute directly or indirectly to promoting the use of olive genetic resources. The first call launched in 2021 focused on funding SMEs engaged in olive improvement activities and the development of new technologies to accelerate and optimize these processes. Participating companies could apply for up to €50,000 for individual projects or up to €100,000 for collaborative projects. The funded projects have been Ioseco from Luque Ecologico, Oleodiversity from Albarizas, Algenes from Inia Alternativas Biotecnológicas, Rolt from Agricolas, Massalia from Agrofervi Explotaciones Agrícolas, FIFA Olive from Commons Lab Concept, Olive 4.0 from Planters Continental, Olive Rec from Edit. The second call, developed in 2023, offered funding for activities related to the design of olive improvement plans. Participating SMEs could receive up to €10,000 in funding for individual projects with a duration of 12 months. The funded projects have been Santa Maria, Drought and Rayo from Todolivo, QOIL from Biosex Genomics, OSAL from Carmen Bermudez Coronel Garcia de Vinuesa, Frost Olive from Domain Spanids, Reso LIVSHD from Beta Fidan, Meca Table Olive and CA Dry Olive Adapt from Borges Santos Cordero, Hybrid Roots from Pepiniers Le Fond, Breed Olive from Cordaplant, OWN from Formica Pietro Tindero Vivi, Flavor X and Algenes 2 from Musai Olive Oil, Resolive and FIFA Health from Moreo Martin, and Silverlive from Viveros Sevilla. Gen for Olive received over 60 proposals, which were selected based on their excellence, impact, and implementation. Ultimately, 25 projects involving 26 SMEs participated. Of these, 8 were awarded in the first call, 6 collaborative and 2 individual, and 17 projects in the second call, all individual. The selected projects received direct financial support through vouchers ranging from €10,000 to €100,000. Consequently, the first call allocated a total of €700,000 to long-term projects lasting up to 24 months, while the second call allocated €170,000 to short-term improvement plans with a maximum duration of 12 months. Spain concentrated 65% of its proposals in the second call, compared to only 35% in the first. Turkey, France, Georgia, and Greece also followed this trend, participating exclusively in the second call, which had greater international representation. Albania showed a more balanced distribution, with approximately 50% of its projects submitted to each call, while Italy focused 65% of its projects in the first phase. In terms of the number of projects, Spain stands out in both calls due to its rich olive diversity and high production, as well as its concern for climate change, which is driving research projects and the development of olive varieties more resilient to climate conditions. Climate change has been addressed by most participating countries, highlighting it as a significant threat to agriculture, which must contend with unpredictable and often extreme weather conditions that disrupt the growing cycle and can reduce productivity. The agronomic performance of olives was a concern across all participating production areas. The participating projects aim to adapt varieties to different cultivation systems, such as super-intensive, intensive, and live hedge systems. In terms of resilience to climate change, adaptation to drought and dry farming clearly prevails. High quality to achieve varieties with healthy properties, such as anti-inflammatory characteristics and excellent organoleptic properties, was another topic presented. Additionally, high production was addressed, where two main trends were identified: cold-resistant varieties and high oil-yielding varieties to enhance oil production. Lastly, pests and diseases affecting olives were also tackled in Gen for Olive. The projects participating in Gen for Olive have reflected the main concerns of olive producers and breeders, such as agronomic performance, climate change and drought. Gen for Olive has helped farmers and breeders obtain financial support to develop olive varieties more resistant to climate change, but also to interact with various experts and other farmers with similar problems, allowing them to address these challenges in a more effective and efficient that, surely, will help strengthen one of the most significant crops in Europe.